Hi there, I'm Marius and today we are going to take a look at control styles with Power Pages. These are options that let you alter the behavior of fields on your form, and they are a little bit tilted towards collecting feedback, but you will see throughout the video that some control styles are really helpful with other use cases as well.
So first of all, we of course do have a form. You can see I've put many fields on here. We will explore them in a second. Then I've put this form here with a form component to the home page. I will quickly show you some CSS I did there. This is far from perfect, but if you need to copy it somewhere, pause the video here. And finally, and this is what I really want to talk about here in the basic form, so this is the form we see here in the Design Studio. We have under basic form metadata, you can create basic form metadata records, and these are all on attribute, and then we are using the control style here. So the first one is group whole number as constant sum. Here you have a group name that you assign and then a minimum and a maximum. And let's see, so the second field, constant sum 2, is configured exactly the same. It's important that it has the same group name here as well. So if we take a look at this in the Power Page, then if I select one here, I get a constant sum of 1, and if I try to submit this, I get an error. The total isn't valid. Review the number of points available for distribution. So you can see here that this wouldn't work. So let's give a valid number and then we submit. And then we only get another error. So let's talk about orders here. These are the group whole number as rank order scale allow ties. So there's only the group name important. You can already guess this is the same for 2 and 3. And then there is another one which is called exactly the same, just no ties at the end. So different group name in this case. And here we have to enter numbers. So let's try this one. With allow ties, this should be fine, but if we try with this, I do get two error messages because ties are not permitted, and you see right here with the red star which two ones it complained about. So let's give this a 4, submit, and then we get rid of this error. We only have now the total is not valid and some other. So next one, stack rank. Group whole number is stack rank. They also have the group name, and you can see right here these are the stack ranks. So how do they stack up against each other? A nice one is the multiple choice. It's not that necessary anymore, but in the past we had the problem that there were no multi-select option sets. So a common use case is you make a lot of booleans and you can just select some. And this is one of the errors we see here. At least one must be selected and at most two. So could be something like interests or something like this. So let's take a look at multiple choice. You also have the group. You have a minimum number, you have a maximum number, so 1 to 2 values we need to select. If I select 2, sorry, this wasn't the submit button. I am rid of this error. So if I select the third option here as well, that should be invalid again. This is at least one at most two options. So next one is the choices matrix. For this one, let's take a quick look at the form. So this is not a Boolean, but these are option sets and they are all based on the same global option set. So things like likert would be a thing, or as I went here with good, neutral, bad. And if you have set it up like this, you can select here from a matrix how you would like to respond. Two more are the horizontal options, option set as horizontal radio button list and as a vertical radio button list. So these work well in situations depending on your number of options, of course, if you can go with horizontal or if there's just too many. And there's also an option render lookup as dropdown. So in the form in Dynamics, this is right here lookup, which has the advantage over an option set, of course, that you can disable, for example, here certain activities that you don't want to allow anymore and add new ones on the fly. And sometimes the dialogues in the Power Pages and sometimes the lookup dialogues for Power Pages are not found as user-friendly. With render dropdown as lookup, this is much easier. It's a simple click right here and you've changed the lookup value. For that, don't forget, in the setup table permissions, I've of course allowed for this second table, it's called test table 2, the append privileges and the read privileges, because otherwise it wouldn't work. Also be aware that regular filters work, but those related filters, so you select one lookup and the next one filters right to the value of the first one, this doesn't work. So, and then the last thing I want to show, and I guess this is kind of the most powerful one, is the control style code component. In the information form down here at the code component field, I've set up a custom component. This is the more toggles control from the PCF gallery. And in Dynamics, this, for example, shows like this, yeah, without problems. But for showing it in a Power Page as well, you need to select code component here as the control style so that it really displays the code component that you've set on the form. And then the Power Page will display the code component here. It works just fine. You need to, however, remember that the component has to be designed for the use with Power Pages. So for example, there could be illegal APIs that are just not available in Power Pages that are in Dynamics or Power Apps. And I think this right here is very powerful. And I think it just looks much better. For example, if you look right here at the rank order, you wouldn't expect in a modern site that you enter numbers here. You would rather drag and drop boxes around, something like that. And this can just be done with a custom control that you either find in the PCF gallery or you implement your own. Lastly, before we leave, let's quickly talk about the messages that are shown. So let me scroll up to the constant sum 3. Here we have used the description instructions right here. So I've said I want to add a description below the field and I want to use a custom description, which is this one. And you can see it right here. But there are more options, especially for the validation. So you've seen here with range, constant sum, and the multiple chase or rank order error messages, you can set for all of these a custom message so that you don't have to go with the standard messages that the Power Pages give out.